Now it's my job to introduce our speaker today. We are so thankful to have Duncan Wiliams, President and CEO of Duncan Wiliams Incorporated here. Thank you again for coming on such short notice, but we really wanted to strike while the iron was hot and the popularity of the videos that you'll see in just a minute.
Saturday in the park, I think it was the 4th of July. Saturday in the park, I think it was the 4th of July. People talking, really smiling, a man playing guitar, singing for us all. Help him change the world.
Can you dig it?
Yes, we can.
And I've been waiting such a long time for today. Yeah, yeah.
Good to see you again, Duncan. It's always good to see you, as a matter of fact. Most times folks come in, they come in asking for something. Anytime we see you, you're coming to offer something.
You know, we loved your Saturday in the Park video and really can't wait to see what you and your team come up with next.
You know, all of us at Duncan Wiliams love giving back to the community, and so I've been thinking of what we can do next. It's so important that all of us in Memphis and Shelby County are happy. I've come up with this great idea to spread happiness around the great city of Memphis. A happiness ambassador. I propose to hire this happiness ambassador to crisscross this city to make sure that happiness and joy is spread all throughout.
Happiness ambassador?
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose.
Duncan, it's like we said, we really appreciate your offering to help, but I've received 52 complaints of harassment just since this morning.
And I heard that she chased Rocky Redbird to the top of the new AutoZone scoreboard. Is that true?
And not to mention this.
Mayors, I know my way out.
You know, you just kiss that idea goodbye.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave.
If you like our videos and you like what we're doing in the community, we would love for you to join our Facebook community. Plus, you may have a great chance to win prizes and tickets to the upcoming event. Thanks for connecting with us.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
First off, thanks, and I'm glad the volume wasn't up because it was actually our voice singing, and it wasn't all that pretty. I'll talk about the videos kind of at the end. I also
I'm glad y'all welcome my wife and my mom, and I also want to say a special thanks. Obviously, Abby is hugely supportive in all we're doing at the company, and as co-chair of the company, obviously my mom still pays my allowance. So it's good to have them both here. I serve as president of the company, and that's not really a PR role, but as everybody knows, in a family-owned business, PR and advertising is part of any job of a president. It's always looking out to see where you're going to go, see what you want to be and what your brand is. So we spend a lot of time on that. When I was talking to Christina about this and getting the move up in a couple of weeks of when I was getting to speak with you, I didn't know I was coming out to Brian Jordan, so I got a tough act to follow, I know, but I'll do my best. I would love to answer any questions y'all have, probably more than y'all listen to me talk about advertising and PR, considering y'all are the pros and I'm kind of the amateur in here. So I'm going to talk about a few things we're doing and give you a little background about the company. My father started the firm in 1969. We were started as a municipal bond firm. At the time, there were over 50 firms that specialized in municipal bonds in the city of Memphis. Of those firms, there's only 2 left. So it was an amazing business. You hear the term that isn't really flattery to us, but the old bond daddy days that I'm sure some people in here may remember. But there's 2 firms left and continue on. For 30 years, we continue to be really an institutional broker-dealer. Most of our customers, we probably had less than 1% of our customers were in the city of Memphis. So most of the business was done outside of the city or county limits. When I became president in 2000, my goal was to grow Duncan Wiliams into a more diverse or a full-service broker-dealer, as we mentioned. And to do that, we knew that we had to increase our visibility. Both in the community and also in our industry. But to start it, we had to start it here in Memphis. And you can't be a successful big firm in this business without having a great relationship with your community or a great name in your community anyway. So we have dedicated, starting about in 2005, we made a budget decision to basically put somewhere between 3 and 5% of our gross revenues into marketing the following year. We've grown from I think this year we're on pace to do probably $65 million in revenue. So you see the kind of money we're putting back into the marketing world and what we're doing. And, we got out of we got out of the golf tournament business, we got out of the 5K business, and we kind of got into the business of major events that were around this city. But we didn't just want to be sponsors. We wanted to be the title sponsors. And we kind of wanted to own the events and do things a little bit different. And we mentioned some of the events, and I will say Indy Memphis, Home for the Holidays, Dragon Boat Races, the Grizzlies Mentoring Program, Alive at the Garden. If you really look at those events on their own, they each kind of have a life of their own. And it's not what your typical broker-dealer or what your typical bond guy would do. And I don't know that they would bust out elevators singing either, so we do things a little bit different, but we also knew that social media was going to play a huge part, and so we try to get events that we can promote both on the social media side but also in the community. The other thing is, if you look at the events we do, they're downtown, midtown, East Memphis, and then obviously when you get into the stuff with the Grizzlies, it's all over in the neighborhoods that need it. But that way you kind of affect a different segment. We know we live in a city that the downtown people, the midtown people, and the East Memphis people all kind of think different ways sometimes. So we wanted to really have big events in all 3 parts of the city and went out to do that. Also within last year, and I know we have some Red Deluxe representatives, so I'll give them a shout out, but Red Deluxe has worked with us to kind of change our tagline, and so it's now the Do Well. And really, the Do Well, when we were first going through it, was something that just when it clicked, not only because of the DW and the Do Well, but really it is what our company stands for. And that's a few points. If our company does well, right, then our employees will do well, our community will do well, and most important, our customers will do well. And if we can take those 3 basic things, then everybody associated with this company is going to be happy to be where they are. And as I tell people every day, the most important thing to me as president of this company is they get up, they put their suit on, and they say, I'm going to a place that actually cares about what I think and what I do. And that has to start with me. I mean, they have to know that I truly believe in what they're doing and how they're doing it. I think also from a company, it's our responsibility to give back to the community. And that's why it's PR or marketing. We're blessed to have what we have, and we have to understand that every day. And if you don't give back, I don't really think you fulfill everything you can fulfill. So I'll give you an example. We had, August 1st, we had 25 young men and women start a 3-year financial advisor training program at the company. And we had over 500 resumes from probably 150 different universities across this country. Half of the class is non-native to this city. So we're bringing in 12 to 15 non-native Memphians who agreed to move to Memphis, and we hear this negative stuff about Memphis all the time. They all love it. One of the core elements of this is that every one of these young men and women are required by January 1st to be associated with 3 nonprofits. And that's something that you don't see any company say, that we're going to help you get 3 nonprofits. And the Leadership Academy has been working with us and actually meeting one-on-one, starting to meet one-on-one with all these young men and women that are there. So not only are we going to train good financial advisors, but 75 nonprofits are going to benefit from having these people in Memphis. And that's a totally different type of world. But when you talk to the guys and gals that have come, they had opportunities everywhere. But the hook, the thing that this generation that's coming up now wanted, was to give back. And they want to be able to have an inroad into doing that. And so as a company, we think it's our responsibility to give them that inroad. So that's a little different. We'll get to the videos, then we'll get to the questions. The videos came out, and I got to give a special shout out to Miss Seal over there. But Walker & Associates came up with this idea to promote Live at the Garden with doing some videos. But it was also to promote our whole social media and the web page. And you know, at a broker-dealer, it's not the most exciting, Facebook page in the whole wide world, right? It's like, why would I join that? Well, now you know why you should join it. But we said we're going to do, some different things and try to get the attention out there and really promote, not only Live at the Garden, promote Duncan Wiliams, but also promote the city. So the first video was obviously a promotion of the singing talents of the employees at Duncan Wiliams. I will tell you that the gentleman that said, "Can you dig it?" Don Malmo, is actually John Malmo's brother. So he's kind of, in some ways related to this whole group too. But when we told him, everybody was scared to go ask him if he'd be all right saying, "Can you dig it?" And so he took part of it and had a great time with it. The employees, I think, we had a grand opening, literally popcorn, and it was just, they've gotten into it. I mean, needless to say. The second video was for Seal and Kissed by a Rose. We wanted to promote great nonprofits in Memphis and the great things that are going out there. And we actually did a deal for everybody who joined our Facebook page. We would give a donation to all the organizations that were in the video. Well, you can imagine, and I know George knows better than anybody, getting 2 mayors in the same room to get, lipstick marks all over them isn't an easy thing to do. But to get, Rick and Dr. Evans and Mary and the Grizzly and the Duckmaster and then the people at Stacks. I mean, it was not easy, but when they heard what we were doing and they saw the first video, they all just kind of jumped in. And really and truly, it was a wonderful experience, I think, for everybody. Mayor Luttrell actually had us down there, had Walker & Associates and our marketing people down there. And I mean, he wanted to see it before it was released and spent 30 minutes on his part and what he did and how he looked. And it was just kind of funny to see how it all happened. So I will tell you, tomorrow is the grand release, or the nationwide release, or worldwide release, whatever we call it, for the Duran Duran video. And so make sure you go to Facebook and see it. And then we spent this morning filming the Leonard Skinner video that will be out in a couple of weeks. So get ready for that one. When I left my office, I saw people with Jack Daniels bottles and bottles of beer and all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure what it's going to be like when I get back. But it has been, the marketing part of our company has helped us grow. We're now in 13 cities and well over 200 employees, and we continue to see that growth just continue to ramp up. And it's really from the PR and marketing side and what the company's doing. But I also truly believe that it's from the giving back to the community side that really sets us aside from our industry. But also, I think, hopefully, we'll set an example for other local companies to say, we can get back, and we can step out of our comfort zone every once in a while and sing in an elevator and do some of those things. So I would first off say it's great to be here and really see all the faces that I know and all the people and the wonderful job y'all do of promoting the city. As chairman of the Leadership Academy, one of the initiatives we started there was called Speak Out. And it was really about all the negative stuff. And, you know, you turn on the news and you really just want to turn it off after the first 10 minutes because it's always negative. And so we started doing really the promoting the good stuff in Memphis. And without all of y'all, that's just not possible, and with the great organizations with you with. So really, my thanks to y'all for keep up the hard work. Keep pushing your presidents and your executives that you need to do more, you need to promote more, you need to get involved more. Let your employees get involved more. I think you'll see that it makes a big benefit. So with that, any questions out there, I'll be glad to answer. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm George Flynn, by the way. I'm looking for a job. What is interesting to me is how far you can push the edge and still, congratulations, because you didn't push the edge too far. You push it too far and you disconnect from the audience.
Right.
But were you worried about pushing the edge too far for a fairly,
conservative business? Yes, and it's amazing. Actually, the head of FINRA, Rick Ketchum, who oversees 5,000 broker-dealers, you know, they obviously see these kind of things and keep up, and he sent me a short email and just said, you know, love the singing boys. So it made it all the way to D.C., and they know about it, and they thought it was very well done, and actually even after the seal when they came back. I think the first time I read the script and they said you're going to be busting out of an elevator singing, you know, Saturday night, I was worried that we were really pushing the edge. Yes, of course. You know, that's a scary thing. But when it all comes together, I mean, that's the amazing thing about what all y'all do is you're filming little segments and then you don't see the end, and then they send me a cut of the final before it goes out. And I was shocked. I mean, I was showing Abby, and I was like, I have no idea how they did this. I mean, I sing in a studio, and then I lip sync when I'm walking around the office, and yet it all looks like it's really me doing it. So I think we were worried about pushing it, but I think the response we got on the first one was great, but we knew we could do better. And I think bringing in all of the Memphis great spots and the great people in Memphis that are doing great things, I think that was a huge step up. And now it's really more about when's the next one coming. So that's kind of been the fun thing, watching it grow into its own thing.
How do you measure your results for all your efforts?
Well, I mean, you know, we are not a nonprofit. So, you know, measuring results is pretty easily. We're either going to continue to grow, or, you know, you start losing money and you may not see as many videos going forward at Live at the Garden. No, I think we see results by the views. I mean, as y'all know, you can see so many things now and get so many records of people who are going to YouTube. I mean, the YouTube views on the videos are incredible. We had, I think in one day, when we did the charitable thing for the seal video, there were like 800 likes within a couple of hours because it got out, right? I mean, at that point, Le Bonheur and the city and county and St. Jude, I mean, you're talking about their total networks was something like 2.5 million that were connected to them that they sent to their people, who then it was a reason for them to watch and like, and, you know, it was going to charity. So from the video standpoint, you measure results from that. From the marketing standpoint, it's really walking around. I mean, it's funny. You can go through, and I'm in the airport a lot, but going to go through, and the guy checking your ticket says, "Are you the guy at the Live at the Garden? Or are you the guy, you know, that's doing the dragon boat races?" I mean, I think that's how you can tell it's getting out. And we've had a lot of phone calls coming to us that say, you know, y'all are doing great things in the community, and we'd love for y'all to come talk to us about managing our money. And that's what it really all goes to.
I was wondering if it actually drove traffic to your company's site.
A lot. It does. You know, hopefully that will get more. I think as we bring in these 25 young men and women, and they get out and they're in the community on these nonprofit boards, you know, it's name building for the company. I mean, we know who serves on most of these boards, and it's people that they need to meet and networks they need to get into. And so, you know, yes, it's great for the community, but hopefully, yes, it's great for the company also, which allows us to do more in the community going forward. Yes, ma'am.
I'd really like to commend you for not being a regular bond guy.
Also, as was part of your strategy to reach a younger market?
Ma'am,
Was part of your strategy to reach a younger market too?
it is. It definitely is. I mean, I think social media-wise, and I can say for myself included, there is no Duncan F. Wiliams Facebook page. So it's kind of a different world for me also. But it's definitely generating that. But the amazing thing is when you look at the stats, the Facebook pages of the baby boomers and all that is off the charts, and how they use LinkedIn. And we've got a whole, it's not just Facebook. I mean, we've got a whole plan for the LinkedIn and how we're using all that. And I guess about 3 weeks ago, we actually had our first customer off LinkedIn come in and actually say, I want to do business with somebody there. What y'all are doing is great. And actually made our first sale from just directly from the social media world. So it's something that probably 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, broker dealers would have continued to push. I mean, the big boys fought it because we have so much regulation. And we saw that as an opportunity to do something different and get that attention that we needed. So definitely about that. Yes, ma'am.
You know, you're leading by example, which is wonderful and a fabulous thing for your industry, but do you attempt to get your arms around all that you're doing in all these different markets, like with a community outreach annual report of some type or some type of report you can share with other people?
It's a great question to know. I think maybe one of the issues I have is that I do get my arms around it all and kind of keep it inside. I mean, we're doing stuff like in our Akron office, we're actually sponsoring one of the Derby box cars this year. So really in all our communities it's important we're there, but I don't know that we've done, it's happened so fast that I don't know if we've sat back and said, let's really document what we're doing. It's been, and you can imagine when my marketing people came in and said, Duncan, we want to sponsor a canoe race down the Mississippi River. I thought, y'all have lost your mind. Y'all have me singing, and now you want to do a canoe race. And, the first year was the most successful dragon boat race. They do it in, I think it's 42 cities. And Memphis was the most successful one they've ever had for a first. There were 8,000 people down on Mud Island, 42 boats, and already this year they're expecting 20,000 people and upwards of 80 boats. I mean, it's an all-day festival. So we reached out to the Downtown Commission. We reached out to the restaurants. All the restaurants are letting us put, what do you put drinks on? Yeah, put those in all the restaurants, posters in all the restaurants. We're actually even working with them where participants in it have armbands and can go in and get, 2-for-1 appetizers after the deal's over. We're bringing in TVs because obviously it's a Saturday in the fall, and being an Alabama fan, college football is kind of important. So we're doing things to make it bigger and better, it just kind of grows on itself. But it's a great point, and we probably should do a better job on that. And I would love any suggestions if anybody has how we can do a better job of that too. All right. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate the invite, and good luck with everything y'all are doing. To make everybody mad. I'm one happy. 739-602.
It's 3650. What you take home.
Hey, bingo!
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Next month, we will have a speaker. Thank you, Marvin, for setting that up for us. We're going to talk about our changing city's cycling culture with the bike lanes and how a small group of people were able to make some really big change in the city. So that will be next month. Check the website and also your emails, and we'll make sure you have all the information. See you next month.